This is where the academic meets the urban elite. Thought-provoking dialogue, conversations that change direction. The Intellectual Thug Podcast, knowledge in motion, purpose and sound. This is the Intellectual Thug Podcast.
Welcome to the Intellectual Thug Podcast. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to introduce yourself and share with our listening audience exactly what it is your encounter and medical challenge was. But it's important for me to always inform our audience that when they enter into this space, it's so important that they are 10 toes down. Y'all with me? Wiggle them toes. I know we can't see their toes up under the table. Melvin, I see you wiggling your toes. I need you to be 10 toes down and 2 ears up. That's what we want our audience to start listening to this. Understanding that we have the control to change our medical landscape. Yes. And if we as a people don't do it, we certainly cannot ask anybody else to do it. So part of the significance of the Intellectual Thug Podcast is to make reference to time. That's why I have an hourglass. And Holly, would you be kind enough to flip it over? Because one thing we know about time, it waits for no one. Am I right?
Sure.
And the other significant piece that I have in front of us is the microscope, to encourage people to take the information, the data, whatever you're receiving, and you examine it. Mm-hmm. You can't go wrong right now because everything happens on the internet. Mm-hmm. Mr. Google can do everything. Yeah. And we ain't gonna get into his first cousin, AI.
Okay. That's true.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So just so you understand the formatting of the Intellectual Thug Podcast, and thank you for coming into this space. I'm your host, Ladee Pamela, and this podcast is based upon Sigmund Freud, Dr. Sigmund Freud, when I was working on my PhD several years ago and turned in my research papers, and those professors run no slack. I got my papers back and it was more red marks than anything. But I always included this quote that Dr. Sigmund Freud had. And it simply says, the voice of an intellect. Did you hear that? The voice of an intellect is a very soft one. But it will not rest until it gets a hearing. So, being an intellectual person, we have to keep at it. And you don't have to blare it and be boisterous and overbearing, but we do have to be consistent. So that's why I came up with the Intellectual Thug. Come on, somebody work with me and get at it. Because I am your intellectual thug, because I want to know the data involved in everything that I'm doing, why I'm doing, why is it affecting me, and greater than that, the expansion of that, how it affects my people. Y'all, I need some help in this space today. So it's 10 toes down, 2 ears up, and to know and understand that when you are in this space, growth is non-negotiable. You're going to grow. Mm-hmm. And the audience, I refer to this all the time. If you think, I don't want to know about this, I don't care about this, that's a bunch of trash. Well, today is not the day to take the trash out. How about that?
How about that? Yeah.
You need to listen to this.
Yes.
And integrity is currency, because you're about to get paid. So, here is your space to extend your voice so everybody that listens to this will know who you are. Thea, let's start with you.
Okay, my name is Aletha Churchill.
Aletha, wait a minute, I'm tell y'all. I done called her Althea, Aletha. I done gave her about 4 names. And what I love about her, she ain't never correct me. She be like, okay, Pam. Go ahead.
Once again, my name is Alita Churchill, and I am currently in end-stage renal failure, and I am on dialysis. And I think what I want to say about my story is that you have the most important thing that I can tell our people is to know your numbers, because what I found in this journey, excuse me, is that when you're dealing with primary care doctors, they do not let you know in time enough to get kidney doctor, which is a nephrologist. So by the time you go from the primary care to the nephrologist, you're doomed. You're third or fourth stage. There's nothing that could be done. And you had no knowledge. But I was diagnosed in 2015, third stage, 2023, end stage 3, and then 10 months later, fifth stage, on dialysis. Yeah, and that is another ball game. The stress, the mental, just anguish, if I can use that word.
Sure.
Just it does something to your mind, because the first thing you think is, I got a death sentence. But actually, you don't. Because I feel like I've been diagnosed with kidney disease. But kidney disease don't have me.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
Say that again.
I've been diagnosed.
I think you need to put a little volume in there.
I've been diagnosed with kidney disease, but kidney disease does not have me.
Come on. This is where you come in this
Dialysis
space.
does not have me, because I continue to plan, I continue to travel, I continue to do my everyday life. And that's what you should do. You don't let a disease just take your life, because life is worth living. You know, it's not over. It's not over.
Come on now.
It's not over. You know, with the help of God, all
That's
things
beautiful.
are possible.
Yeah,
Everything is possible. You know, if you believe, and I believe, I'll get a transplant by
That's
the end of
right.
this year. That's my belief.
That's right.
You know, but you have to take the
right.
steps of doing what you need to do for yourself. If you have questions, ask.
That's
Don't
correct.
be afraid. Ask. If you don't understand, ask. I don't understand that. It has nothing to do with your education or anything. Ask the question that's going to give you the answer that you need so that you can continue on.
So that gives me an excellent segue to ask Melvin to give his testimony. Wow. That is slightly different from yours. And that's why the three of you are my rock stars in this podcast, because you are all bringing a different message and how it occurred. And I love the fact that you were honest. And thank you for that. Melvin, come on. Come on, I know we 10 toes down, 2 ears up. Somebody out there. They making it happen. They listening, and they probably got their face glued to YouTube about right now.
Hi, my name is Melvin Jackson, and I am a kidney transplant recipient. Wow. I ended up having to have a kidney. I was down in Georgia working on a mailbox, and I set a mailbox down beside an ant bed, which I did not know was there. I come back later that evening, grabbed the mailbox and started to install it. Ants had crawled all over my body and bit me from head to toe. I stepped back, brushed all the ants off that I could, got a shower, later on that evening, my arm started swelling up. Took some Benadryl, got to bed, got up about 4 o'clock in the morning. I drove back here to Columbus, got in the bed, was in the bed for 2 days, couldn't move. The third day I got up, went to the emergency room. They told me I had an ear infection and pneumonia. So they gave me 2 different antibiotics. They said, take this one for 5 days and this one for 10. After 5 days of antibiotics, I have high fever,
Yes.
throwing up. My eyes feel like somebody was pushing them out from the inside. Every joint in my body was hurting. So I went back to the emergency room. They told me my pneumonia cleared up, but my potassium level was extremely high. I said, extremely high. I said, so you'll give me something, send me back home? They said, no, Mr. Jackson, your potassium level is fatally high. I said, fatally high? They said, yes. He said, if you were in prison on death row, and they wanted to execute you, they will give you potassium chloride to stop your heart. He said, your potassium level is so high, we don't know how you were living. So they put an IV in each arm. They told me they need to get my potassium level down quickly. And they gave me a big bottle of, I don't know what it was. They told me they need me to drink it. So the nurse gave it to me. She walked out of the room. She come back. I had drank it down. She said, oh my God, you're done? I said, yes. She said, most people sit up here and cry about the taste. I said, lady, you told me I'm going to die.
I know that's right. Come on, 10 toes.
So she told me that I was in renal failure. Said my organs started to shut down. He said I got bit by enough ants. It was like being bitten by a poisonous snake.
Wow.
So I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, or 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Once I was in the hospital, I had a kidney doctor that I was seeing. The crazy thing about this, you have to advocate for yourself.
Absolutely
Yes, you do.
so.
These
Absolutely.
doctors are for
Absolutely.
profit.
Right.
Absolutely so.
The doctor that I was seeing, the whole time I was seeing him, was, oh, everything's on track, you're doing really good, you're doing this, that, and the other. The whole time he was setting me up to be on dialysis. I had no clue.
Wow.
No clue. His partner come in to see me because he was on vacation. And he said, Mr. Jackson, he said, with you having kidney issues prior to this, he said, why are you on this medication and that medication and you're drinking? I said, well, the kidney doctor told me it was fine.
Yes.
And everything was fine. Continue doing what you're doing. You're great. So I end up firing that kidney doctor.
Yes.
The second kidney doctor I see, immediately, before even checking my numbers or anything, said, okay, well, we got to go ahead and get you set up for dialysis. I'm saying, dialysis? I said, you never even looked at me yet, but you automatically trying to sign me up for dialysis. He said, this is something you don't want to wait for because it's hard to get space. I said, okay, well, you're fired. So I went and seen another kidney doctor. This
Wow.
is like December 27th. The 15th of January, they put this thing in my arm. Ready to do dialysis, right? That quick. So the whole entire time I'm seeing this doctor after they put this thing in
Sure.
my arm, you know, the process of me going and have them to do the ultrasound, everything on my arm, it was planned to put it in this arm.
Ooh.
And I just happened to be on my chart earlier the day before the surgery and then seeing that they were going to put it in my right arm. And I called and talked to the receptionist. She said, oh, well, let me talk to the doctor. Doctor, she's come back. She said, oh, well, the doctor decided that your veins in your right arm are bigger than the ones in your left.
Whoa.
So he decided he's going to go ahead and put it in your right arm, even though I'm a right-hand dominant.
Yes, right
And
in
so
now.
I said, well, I'm the patient. Shouldn't I know that I
Absolutely.
do this? It's almost, 4:30 now, and no one called to tell me this. I'm going to show up and you're just going to... Anyway, that whole entire time that this thing was in my arm, I go in there to see the kidney doctor. The first thing to come out of his mouth, are you ready to start dialysis?
Wow.
Are you ready to start dialysis? And I said, well, if you got to ask me if I'm ready to start dialysis, I must not need dialysis.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So a few weeks later, he asked me to come in and he said, are you ready for dialysis? Okay. He said, well, I need you to go see the surgeon. he wanted me to go see the surgeon because he told me, he said he wanted to test it first.
Sure, sure.
Test this. I said, okay, well, go ahead and test it. He said, yeah, we're going to have to put dye in you, but I'm going to let you know. Once we put that dye in you, you're definitely going to end up on dialysis.
So hold that right there, because that gives me our next segue into Holly, who's going to tell her part. All three of you are just amazing. And thank you for being 10 toes down and 2 ears up. I see your toes going down with me right now. But Melvin, I'm going to circle back to both of you, but what you are sharing is going to reflect on part of her lived experience. Holly,
Yes, ma'am.
come on, get at it. Get at it, get at it.
Well, my situation was different. I didn't know I needed a transplant. I was a bright 16-year-old, healthy, and basically one day my friend picked me up from school. I ate McDonald's, and by the time I got to the school, I felt sick. By the end of that night, I was rushed to the hospital. By the time I got there,
16 years old.
yes, ma'am. By the time I got there, I was in such bad condition that I was slipping. The whole time I thought I was going to sleep. Come to find out, the doctor saying that no, I was dying.
Wow.
So I've been transferred to 3 different hospitals in one day, and they finally found out that I was born with a genetic disease that's not known in African Americans, just Caucasians and Asians, and I needed a transplant immediately, or I was not going to make it.
Wow.
And I've been on a ventilator, fought for my life. I almost passed twice the whole time that I was there. After that happened, finally they found me a liver the day that they told my mom that I wasn't going to make it that night.
Excuse me.
And I come from a family that did not believe in organ donation. They believed whatever God gave me, I'm taking with me until I got sick. And my mom basically was like, I want my child. It's the other way around. I'm not burying my child. So, long story short, Christmas Eve, they told my mom that I wasn't going to make it. So as they were preparing to go home and get clothes to stay with me till I passed, the transplant team was running up the hall with the cooler with the Christmas ball. And my new liver was in there. And I received my transplant Christmas morning of 97. This Christmas, it will be 29 years.
Wow. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
I have done
Wow.
so many activities in the community because from being 16 to 45, I've noticed that the black and brown community is the hardest to touch.
Absolutely.
And by my experience, my family, how they were, my goal at a young age was like, no, they think the rich get it. No, that's not true. Doctors fight for your life. God fights for your life. If it's your purpose to be here, he will find a way for
That's
you
correct.
to live. And it's amazing how God made our bodies to rejuvenate, to save other people in their time.
Absolutely
of life.
so.
So I'm in the community, and my biggest message when it comes to organ donation is that when you become a organ donor, please sit down and talk to your family.
That's
and
right.
let them know.
Yes.
Because it's hard to see your loved one pass in the hospital, but they didn't tell the family that they were organ donors. And then the first thing they want to do is cuss out the doctors and nurses and everybody in there and talk about, y'all not wait till the...
Right.
Sit down. If you become an organ
That is
donor,
correct.
Sit down with your family.
That is so correct.
Spread the message because your family is not educated like you. And this
That's
is your
right.
chance to educate your family
That's
on,
good.
on how you want to save somebody's life
That's true.
in your time of need. Because if you believe in God, we're going to be made new anyway.
Yes,
true.
yes.
So my biggest thing by my experience of having a transplant, not knowing I was sick and it all happened in one day, and is to get the message out to the community especially blacks and browns, because it's very important to sit down with your family.
Yes.
Talk to your uncle who's stubborn.
People
Talk
of
to your
color,
cousin
come
who's
on
not-
now.
You got to talk to them, because they ask you why you want to do that. Then maybe your story, your reason why
Absolutely.
you said yes, it can open up their mind
Absolutely
a little bit and
so.
have an understanding. Because people don't realize the dialysis centers and hospitals. The black community, we need kidneys. The black community, our diet, our
Yes.
culture. It's important to know about your body and your organs.
And that's why the hourglass becomes so significant in this entire scope of our conversating, because time keeps passing. And you know where it was when Holly turned it over, and look how it's moving. So real quickly, tell us how you advocated for yourself, Alita.
Alita.
See, I did it again.
Okay. That's okay.
But I'm still the intellectual thug. Wrong or not?
It's true.
Aaliyah,
Ma'am.
I said it right. Tell us how you advocated for yourself and put a message. You go ahead and tell us, because I was really impressed when I met her and saw she was doing that.
Usually I wear a sports jacket, and on the back
Yes.
it has all my information. It says something like, Miss Churchill needs a kidney. You can dial this number. It has the number to OSU, and it has a QR
right.
code, and then you can go that way. On the back of my truck, I have
That's right.
Miss Churchill needs a kidney, and it has the same information. I did a video and put it on Facebook. So that's how I advocate. My kids, they have stickers on the back of their car. We talk to our friends and family. And
Like Holly's saying.
yeah, like Miss Holly said,
Got to talk.
get the word out. Because if you
Yes.
don't advocate for yourself, you just sit in the house and you don't do anything, then nobody knows what you need.
So, Melvin, this is probably one of the most amazing encounters when I heard your story. Of course, you know, I was drawing the tears. How your niece, tell us real quickly about
Yes,
your niece.
She's a doctor.
A medical doctor now, she's an MD.
I actually had 13 people and was willing to give me a kidney.
Isn't that something? That's how, this is the man of steel, y'all. Come on in here with 10 toes down, 2 ears up. The man of steel, 13 people.
That is a blessing.
But when you live a good life and you treat people right, they will come back and reach out. So tell us real quickly what your niece decided to do.
She decided to get tested. Well, like I said, I had 13 people. They all were being tested. But she gave me a kidney at the
She was a
age
match.
of 35.
Isn't that amazing?
So now I'm reverting. I'm going back in my age.
Right, there's nothing wrong with it. That's, all I'm saying is be 10 toes down, 2 ears up, take it to the hood. I'm looking for the academic urban elite. And some of those that I'm looking for to tune into this podcast would be considered the revolutionary change agent that want to change the health landscape. That's who I'm looking for. People that want to do something like your niece. So you let her know that Ladee Pamela called her an intellectual thug. Come on down and make this thing happen. Go ahead, Mel.
What I would like to say, if you know any black person or people of color
Yes, people of color,
that
yes.
need to have dialysis, tell them to seek out having peritoneal dialysis
Oh,
versus having the hemo. The doctors are really, really big and quick on pushing the hemo on black, brown,
interesting.
and poor people.
Can I comment on that?
They'll tell you, if you do ask about it, they'll tell you you're not a good candidate. You say, well, why? I had to fire a kidney doctor because of that. He said, you're not a good candidate for it. I'm like, why not? He said, well, you got to be really clean and sterile. Otherwise, it can really be very detrimental to your health and take you out. And I've seen so many people taken out like that.
Okay.
I wouldn't want you to have to go into the hospital and be on IV. It was crazy. And a lot of people don't realize. Now, with the peritoneal dialysis, they put the little tube in your stomach and you drain the fluid into your body, leave it in there for a few hours, drain it back out. Once you perfect that, they will put you on what they call a cycler, where you hook up to it at night.
Yes.
And they give you enough cords you can actually run to the bathroom, come back, and you disconnect in the morning and you go about your day. You can travel all around the world, and anywhere you travel, it travels with you for free.
Okay.
You're not confined.
Okay.
The hemodialysis, if you don't have a bad heart, you will have a bad heart when they get finished with you.
So this is why the Intellectual Thug podcast has been developed, because we want to get the information out, and we want people to do just what's happening today. Get the information, put it under the microscope, and you examine it. Nobody's sitting here advocating that this is 100% the one and only way to go. So having said that, I want you to tune in to the Intellectual Thug podcast on Facebook as well as YouTube, and you can reach out to me, the BKA, the THEE, Intellectual Thug, at gmail.com. Phone number 380-260-7820. And we'd like to say thank you to our sponsors and thank you to our esteemed panelists. As the hourglass says, the sands of time is running out. God bless you all. 10 toes down, 2 ears up. Make it happen in your space.
The Intellectual Thug Podcast. This is the Intellectual Thug Podcast.
They told you politics doesn't affect you, but every move they make hits your life. So we built something different. The Black Wall. A new system designed to track what they do, not what they say. See the patterns, check the receipts, expose the truth. This isn't politics, this is power. Go to bcn-columbus.com and tap into the Black Wall. Join the movement.